Good morning. I'm Barry Arrett. My pronouns are he, him, and I am your service leader this morning, your lay service leader. Our UUCC mission, challenged by our liberating faith, we discover deeper spiritual meaning, nurture loving community, cultivate courageous connections, and partner in the work of justice. Welcome to all of you on the live stream and here in person. We're pleased to have guests with us in the room and participating virtually. Following the service, everyone is invited to join us in Freeman Hall across from the sanctuary for coffee and conversation. If you are new and want to learn more about this congregation, I encourage you to reach out to our Director of Member Relations, Kelly Green. There she is. Her email is on the screen. For our members and guests, we have large print orders of service, personal hearing assistance devices, and an elevator available. There's also a hearing loop in the alternate worship space, which is the Bernstein room. If you or your family feel a need to move or be more active, you may be more comfortable watching and listening to the service in that alternate space downstairs. We also have coloring pages and fidgets for all ages in the vestibule if that's useful to you or your children. And nursery care is available for children under 6. A few announcements. Our big in-gathering celebration will be 2 Sundays from today on September 7th. During the service, we'll observe the water communion. It's one of our most beloved UU traditions. We'll also be joined by the Carolina Migrant Network for our Share the Plate offering. And we will ground ourselves for the journey ahead. Coffee hour that day will be a dessert potluck. That sounds great, with games and something for everyone. So please be sure to sign up to bring a dessert. And a footnote, Reverend Amanda is very fond of cheesecake. So bring a friend, reach out to the person you haven't seen in a while, bring some water that's meaningful to you, and let's kick off the year with a lot of joy. Our young adult group is getting into gear. Yes, you heard that right, our young adult group. If you are a young adult, and you know who you are, please join Reverend Amanda and other young adults. So I guess she's kind of the cutoff point. If you're her age or younger, you're a young adult, at least in this congregation.
I'm almost 40.
Join them for bowling later today at 4 p.m. It's at Bolero 10 Park. That's on Montford Drive. If you have questions, please see Kelly Green after the service, and it's not too late to sign up. For more information on these opportunities, you can check our order of service, our weekly newsletter Currents, or our website. Welcome now to sacred time in this cherished space. Whether you are here in person or joining via the live stream, whatever road or personal journey brings you here, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, origins, identities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. It is good to be together.
Give to me
Good morning. And welcome once more. Welcome to this place of contemplation and connection, this place which invites questions and welcomes the mystery. Welcome to this time of belonging and becoming. I'm Reverend Amanda, and what a joy it is to gather together once again. The theme for worship and exploration this month is Crossroads. And today we'll explore the crossroads as an intersection of head and heart. This stop along the way on the journey as fellow seekers and searchers, that quest for truth and meaning. It's one of our dearest and most important foundations of our shared faith, and we're not alone in that. We'll spend this Sunday and the next exploring the hero's journey, not academically per se, but through a faithful lens. So, we light our chalice this morning for the road ahead, this winding journey of heart, when with gratitude and thanksgiving for our beloved companions to travel alongside. Come, let us worship together. And in that spirit, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to turn and greet your neighbor.
A poem by Robert Louis Stevenson. Home, no more home to me, whither must I wander? Hunger my driver, I go where I must. Cold blows the winter wind over hill and heather. Thick drives the rain, and my roof is in the dust. Loved of wise men was the shade of my roof tree. The true word of welcome was spoken in the door. Dear days of old with the faces in the firelight, kind folks of old, you come again no more. Home was home then, my dear, full of kindly faces. Home was home then, my dear, happy for the child. Fire and the windows bright glittered on the moorland. Song, tuneful song, built a palace in the wild. Now when the day dawns on the brow of the moorland, lone stands the house, and the chimney stone is cold. Lone let it stand, now the friends are all departed, the kind hearts, the true hearts that loved the place of old. Spring shall come again, calling up the moorfowl. Spring shall bring the sun and rain, bring the bees and flowers. Red shall the heather bloom over hill and valley. Soft flow the stream through the even-flowing hours. Fair the day shine as it shone on my childhood. Fair shine the day on the house with open door. Birds come and cry there and twitter in the chimney. But I go forever and come again no more. Please remain seated for our next song, Voice Still and Small. It's number 391 in your gray hymnal. J.R.R. Tolkien writes, "All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king." Now, I will not even attempt to do an exposition or deep-level analysis of J.R.R. Tolkien
or the world he created in The Lord of the Rings, for I am well aware of the deep lore and very serious fandom that will eat me alive if I even attempt such a thing. But back in college, many, many years ago, a friend made me watch all 3 films in one weekend, just back to back, all in one weekend. And this is an interpretation of me the whole time. Wait, who is that? Where are we? Why are there so many names? Wait, this guy was gray and now he's white. Is that the same dude who played Dumbledore? No? Okay. Okay, so where are we on this map now? Why are there so many places? And where's the hot elf? I just want to see him again. Yes, there are powers in stories. And this is the oldest story ever told. No, not that of Frodo Baggins, but that of the reluctant hero. The reluctant hero who has broken their vows 1,000 times. The reluctant hero who feels they have nothing to offer, who lives in a world of no or not yet, who is underestimated or who underestimates themselves. That reluctant hero. And why even talk about this reluctant hero? Why are there countless stories throughout time and culture? Why is this the trope that speaks so loudly at times and so quietly at others that it resounds through time and history, so much so that we'll take 2 Sundays to explore it? Well, I'll go ahead and give it away because you already know that reluctant hero lives in all of us. We're all on a journey of some sort. We are each required at some point, at many points, to rise above and go beyond, to leave our homes and wander and be lost and be found, to fail, to hide away, to return and then return again, and to conquer. Yes, stories matter, and this is a tale as old as time. So from where we begin today, the reluctant hero has already been called to the journey, has already been pulled out from the only home and the only life they have known to traverse the unknown, untrodden path. Home no more, cries the vagabond. Whither must I wander? Now, it may be true that not all who wander are lost, but for me, if I'm wandering, I am often lost. I have a horrible sense of physical direction, and I have been lost a lot, like a lot. One time I got lost in Nazareth. Yes, that Nazareth. I was with a group of people on a human rights delegation throughout the West Bank, and it was one of our off days. So we went to this open air market. This kind of market layout is very common in that region. It's like something you would see in a movie. Merchants and vendors and shoppers, and it seemed simple enough. Now, this matrix of a market was right across the street from where we were staying for these few nights on our travels. And my companions were ready to leave, but I wanted to stay and keep wandering, assuring them that I would be fine, because the exit to the street that we were staying on was right there, and I wasn't going that far. Now, y'all already know. Somehow, and I don't know how, somehow, I ended up twisting and turning and walking this way and walking that. And eventually, I somehow ended up in what felt like more of a residential area. No longer was I seeing tourists or merchants or shoppers. It became small streets, densely packed with homes, clotheslines, and children playing. A few dogs here, a few cats there, and here I am, so obviously out of place. Trying to look for a way out of this maze, but failing miserably. And the whole time I'm thinking, just look like you belong here, just look cool. I, in fact, did not look cool, y'all. Now, keeping in mind this was August, and it was the hottest I've ever been, so I wasn't exactly dressed to the cultural custom, if you will. So people were noticing me. A few kids started following me, and then a few more. And when I would try to ask anyone for directions, I realized just how poor my Arabic skills were. Heck, even a pack of cats started following me. And to this day, I know in my heart of hearts that those cats were mocking me too. So time was going by and night wasn't that far away and panic started setting in. And back in 2015, international calling and texting wasn't quite what it is now, so I couldn't really get a hold of anyone, and I couldn't have told them where I was anyway. And finally, I heard a slip of English. I glanced over and I saw this guy, and never before have I been so excited to hear a little slang, a little Texas swagger in my life. And so I ran over to him, and he happened to be from Texas, of all places. And with desperation in my eyes, I told him of my predicament and if he could help me find that main street. So apologetic I was, since I knew how tedious it would be to get me back to that place of familiarity. Surely, I must have been so far away from where I needed to be. And with a chuckle, that Texan walked me about 100 feet directly to my left. And there was that main street. This whole time, I thought I was lost to the roads of Nazareth, ready to assimilate to the culture and move on in. And the whole time, I was steps away from the parallel main road, and it instantly was hilarious. I am often lost, even moving here to Charlotte. I don't know what I would do without my GPS navigation. A couple of months ago, I celebrated the victory of making it home when my phone died. You would have thought that I completed a PhD in astrophysics with how proud I was of myself for finding my way home without GPS, because why are there 5 different names for one road in this city? It feels intentionally confusing. So while I might be lost, not all who wander are. A vagabond is not merely lost, but has intentionally left to live on the wind, choosing to carry their home with them, becoming a pilgrim, seeking and searching. Come, come, whoever you are, sings our beloved hymn, set to the words of the Sufi poet Rumi. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. I always wondered what lover of leaving really meant. When so much of our focus in faith community is belonging to something, finding home, finding one's place, resisting isolation, why would we lift up lover of leaving? And then there's the commitment aspect of it all. We can't stay the course if we're constantly turning tail when things get rocky. But his poem continues. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again, come. It reminds me of another one of our hymns. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to what you are, to who you are, to where you are, born and reborn again. A lover of leaving is returning to the home of their soul. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Crossroads as a place of decision and choice. And much like the Crossroads, the desert holds symbolic meaning throughout legend and history. The desert being the most barren form of wilderness, dry, cracked, scarce in water and resources, a place of banishment and despair, a place where it is hard to survive on your own, and yet ancient legend tells story after story of spiritual liberation found in this barren landscape. Spiritual migration, desert dwelling, pilgrimage. These are all themes in nearly every early religious tradition, all the way back in the 4th century AD, before the Christian scriptures were written and codified, before there were such things as the Gospels and the Testaments, or even the term Christianity as we know it. These basic teachings and stories and parables were shared from person to person. And the earliest followers of this pre-religion weren't enforcing or adhering to a religious tradition. They were spiritual seekers, searching for the quiet truth of their hearts, seeking silence so they could hear the quiet of the Spirit. They left their homes to go to the desert because they knew there was something there that they needed to wrestle with. There was this need to disconnect from what they knew in order to deeply connect with the unknown, with the mystery. Their prayers were not spoken in cathedrals, but were embodied. Their spirits given voice not through piety, but through the physical demands of the terrain and the labor that it entailed. These were not pious pilgrims. These were tough, messy, and gritty travelers. Hard-fought wisdom. Their journeys and their teachings still live on to this day, but not through any kind of scripture, because that all became something completely different. But it has lived through story, through parable, through song, through teaching, through word of mouth passed from elder to student until the student becomes the elder to pass to the next in a cycle of rebirth with every new age. The spirit of the vagabond meanders throughout time, weaving traditions, reminding us of that necessary struggle of the desert, grounding and guiding and returning us to the home of our own soul. These wanderers, they were not lost, and their gold indeed did not glitter, but liberated from the social constraints and the boxes in which they had been placed. Rather than finding anything, they created places of transformation. Now, these ascetics, these pilgrims, these lovers of leaving, they would often form organic communities, not necessarily societies or civilizations, but cultures of deep listening and learning from elders, cultures of work and labor, of spiritual practice. Thus, these kinds of communities became the blueprint for a monastic living for monks. Which brings us to the hermit. Now, here's the thing about the hermit. Although they attempt to live lives of solitude, people never really want to leave them alone. It's kind of a catch-22, if you will. The wisdom and inner knowing gained from this kind of solitude attracts seekers and searchers of that wisdom. Take Simeon Stylites the Elder, for example. Simeon Stylites was another one of those 4th century seekers in the region of Syria. He became a monk in his early life, just in his teens, but his devotion kind of freaked out the other monks, so he had to go move into a cave. He set himself up fasting and praying, growing in spiritual wisdom, desiring to live a life of solitude. But soon enough, he got a visitor. Then 2, and then 3. Eventually, crowds of people were coming to his cave dwelling, seeking his wisdom and his guidance. So what did he do? To reestablish his solitude, he climbed atop a 7-foot pillar, hoping this would send the proper message that he wanted to be left alone. No such luck. The people still came, crowding around his pillar, begging his insight. So, in one final attempt, he extended his pillar to 50 feet up in the air, seated himself on a small platform with only a thin ladder to receive occasional food, and he remained that way for 37 years. And do you know that in those 37 years, people never left him alone? The people gathered nonetheless. They gathered faithfully to be in his presence. So at the end of 37 years, he decided to go on ahead and die. And even his death was not enough to keep people away. And when you know that that very pillar became a site of pilgrimage, from the cave to the pillar, he literally could not be left alone. A catch-22. Just as the desert is symbolic of liberation, the cave is symbolic of inner transformation, of transfiguration. This change, this shift, this integration of all the knowledge one has amassed along the journey, all of the hard lessons of the desert comes together in the cave. In a way, this is the foundation for what we now call spiritual practice. All those ways of quieting the mind and listening deeply to the truth. Now, it's hard to say what one truly does in solitude, but we all know that it's an important part of this ongoing journey. But not every hermit is a monk, and not every monk is a noble one. Often, in the hero's journey, this time of turning away is considered the abyss. And it typically comes because of a tremendous setback, as a reminder of that initial reluctance when things don't quite work out or something falls apart. Perhaps our shortcomings get in the way of our goals, or despite our best efforts, we keep losing. Often it's because this journey is beating us up. But Tolkien's poem reminds us that from the ashes a fire shall be woken, and a light from the shadows shall spring. A light from the shadows. The abyss isn't just a time of solitude or even one of hiding away. It's a time of death and rebirth. The cycles of nature model this for us each and every year. Soon enough, the leaves will fall to the ground and go on their own journey. Soon enough, hibernation will set in, and before we know it, all of this vibrant life on the surface will be dwelling in the cave of the hardened earth, returning to the home of its soul. But the work is still happening, even when we can't see it. And right beneath the surface, transformation is underway, death becoming life once more. Now it must be said that you will never hear an encouragement from this pulpit to leave everything you know behind and go into isolation in the wilderness. In fact, that would be a shallow interpretation of these legends and these stories. Rather, the invitation is to embrace the mystery, to find what connects us, what roots us, even when we are vagabond or hermit or both. To follow that thread of the unknown that stretches us across space and time, that stretches throughout our own lives and journeys, to wander like the vagabond and to dwell with the hermit. So we rest here for now, at this place of becoming and transformation, and we prepare for the journey that is yet to come, for that hero which is emerging within us all. May it be so. Blessed be.
Here at UUCC, generosity is at the center of our mission and vision, and it's through generosity that we live our values out loud. What we give allows us to sustain the work of this congregation within and beyond these four walls. When we gather each week, let it remind us of this spirit of generosity and gratitude, recognizing the blessing that it is to carry our work forward. There are many ways to give to our shared offering. You can text to give at 73256, or you can give directly online. You can also scan the QR code, there it is, or give in the basket as it comes your way. Thank you for making this possible, with added thanks to our pledging members for their ongoing and generous financial support. While the offering is collected, you are invited to come forward and light a candle, honoring a milestone, concern, or celebration. Ushers, you may now come forward to receive the offering.
As always, when we gather, we come bearing our joys and our sorrows, creating a beloved community that can expand to hold it all. We ask not for perfection, but we search for points of connection, and we get each other through. This morning, we lift our hearts with one of our newcomers, Frankie Day, whose father passed away last Sunday. We send so much love her way this morning. And also, Susan Cox shares that the surgeries for her daughter Ashley and her granddaughter Layla have went well, and both are out of intensive care. What a tremendous joy and what a tremendous relief. We share in that joy, and we lift up Susan and her family. If you are ever in need of pastoral care, please let me know. We are here for you to meet one-on-one or in any other capacity. Won't you please join me in a moment of silence for all the joys and concerns on our hearts and minds today. I now invite you into a time of stillness, of contemplation, of rootedness, and into a time of prayer. I invite you to lower your gaze or close your eyes and be in the space. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of the meandering traveler in us all, Spirit of the vagabond and of the hermit, we call that presence among us today. For all the journeys in our lives, the ones that everyone around us sees and the ones that live in our hearts. Some journeys we can only go on alone. But it is also true that we journey together. In our lives, there are so many opportunities to connect, and there's so many opportunities to turn away, but always in it all, we are seekers and we are searchers, creating our own truth and discovering our own meaning. What a joy it is to be wrapped up in it all. As we move into the weeks and the days and the months ahead, we know that the road is laid out before us, and yet it is still unknown. Perhaps each of us, maybe all of us, feel that tug in our hearts. We feel the pull calling us to something. Perhaps we know, likely we don't. But if we take a page from the books, whether that be history or fiction, we know that within each of us lives that guiding spirit, that bright fire. And we know that the friends along the way help guide us through. May we be a guide for each other as we journey this long and winding road. May we do it with our hearts open and our minds trained. May we do it deeply connected, weaving gratitude along the way. May it always be so. Ashe. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn. as always, our benediction, our gratitudes. It goes without saying the gratitude for George Washington III for gracing us this morning, as always. Of course, Scott Weissel, who's beautiful on the piano, and of course, all of our, yes. Our ushers, our tech folks, our greeters, all the people that it takes to create this space, and of course, each and every one of us who gathered here this morning, who chose community, who chose connection. So much gratitude for the beauty of this space. Please join me in our closing words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the words of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. You may be seated.